Hello, my little Luxes. Welcome back to another Scary Stories My Father Told Me, and I am your host, charsielux. And today I am continuing on with my Irish fairy tales, and I'm sharing with you one about a minstrel that has some bad luck on a battlefield. And this story is called The Talking Head of Donn-Bo. So please come gather round the campfire with me as I tell you another Irish fairy tale. The Talking Head of Donn-Bo. There is an old tale told in Erin of a lovable and bright and handsome youth named Donn-Bo, who was the best singer of songs of idleness and the best teller of king's stories in the world. He could tell a tale of each king who reigned in Erin, from the tale of the destruction of Din Rain, when Cava Calbray was killed, down to the kings who reigned in his own time. On the night before a battle, the warrior said, "Make minstrelsy tonight for us, Donn-Bo." But Donn-Bo answered, "No word at all will come on my lips tonight. Therefore, for this night, let the King Buffoon of Ireland amuse you. But tomorrow, at this hour, in whatsoever place they and I shall be, I will make minstrelsy for the fighting men." For the warriors had said that unless Donn-Bo would go with them on the hosting, not one of them would go. The battle was past, and on the evening of the morrow at that same hour Donn-Bo lay dead, his fair young body stretched across the body of the King of Ireland, for he had died in defending his chief, but his head had rolled away among a wisp of growing rushes by the waterside. At the feasting of the army on that night a warrior said, "Where is Donn-Bo, that he may make minstrelsy for us, as he promised us at this hour yesternight, and that he may tell us the king's stories of Erin?" A valiant champion of the men of Munster answered, "I will go over the battlefield and seek for him." He inquired among the living for Donn-Bo, but he found him not, and then he searched hither and thither among the dead. At last he came where the body of the king of Erin lay, and a young fair corpse beside it. In all the air about there was the sound of minstrelsy, low and very sweet, dead bards and poets reciting in faint whispers old tales and poems to dead chiefs. The wild clear note of the battle march, the dored fianza, played by the drooping hands of slain warriors upon the points of broken spears, low like the echo of an echo, sounded in the clump of rushes hard by, and above them all a voice, faint and very still, that sang a song that was sweeter than the tunes of the whole world beside. The voice that sang was the voice of the head of Donn-Bo. The warrior stooped to pick up the head. "Do not touch me," said the head, "for we are commanded by the King of the Plains of Heaven to make music tonight for our Lord, the King of Erin, the Shining One who lies dead beside us. And though all of us are lying dead likewise, no faintness or feebleness shall prevent us from obeying that command. Disturb me not. The host of Leinster are asking thee to make minstrelsy for them, as thou didst promise yesternight," said the messenger. "When my minstrelsy here is done, I will go with thee," saith the head, "but only if my lord, in whose presence I now am, go with me, and if thou taketh me to my body again." "That shall be done indeed," saith the messenger. And when it has ceased chanting for the king of Erin, he carried away the head. When the messenger came again amongst the warriors, they stopped their feasting and gathered round him. "Hast thou brought anything from the battlefield?" they cried. "I have brought the head of Donn-Bo," said the man. "Set it upon a pillar that we may see and hear it," cried they all, and they said, "It is no luck for thee to be like that, Donn-Bo, and thou the most beautiful minstrel and the best in Erin. Make music for the love of our Lord, amuse the Leinster men tonight as thou didst amuse thy lord a while ago." Then Donn-Bo turned his face to the wall, that the darkness might be around him, and he raised his melody in a quiet night, and the sound of that minstrelsy was so pious and sad that the host sat weeping at the sound of it. Then was the head taken to his body, and the neck joined itself to the shoulders again, and Donn-Bo was at rest. Well, my little Luxes, I definitely hope you enjoyed that little Irish fairy tale. That one was definitely different than the other ones because usually we have the ghost or witches or some kind of a spook, and this one definitely was along the lines that this minstrel had to hold up to his promise, and that even in death, he couldn't get out of his promise, and that he still had to entertain the warriors after their big battlefield. And not only that, he was such a good minstrel that he even tried to protect his king, even though he technically failed because both him and his king had passed away. But I guess you can't win them all. But have you heard this one before? This was definitely the first time I had heard this tale. I did like it. It is a little sad. But was this one of those little moral tales to basically say that keep your promises? Let me know what you thought of that story, and but I will definitely leave you with that little sad tale. This one definitely wasn't as spooky as some of the others. A little more on the sad and bleak side, but still a good little story. But thank you so much for joining me on another Scary Stories My Father Told Me. And if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, there will be a link in the description down below. And remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to join me in the afterlife of the party. And the easiest way to do that is to come and join me on my Patreon. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to all of my fellow Patreon members. And thank you so much for joining me on there. And a special shout out to all of my Ultimate Luxes. So thank you so much to Chris Bruner and to Bishop. Thank you so much for being Ultimate Luxes with me. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And remember to always keep those promises that you make. Until next time, my little Luxes, have a spooky, fantastic day. Bye.